America's third-largest police force just walked away from a surveillance camera company, and they are not alone. On July 11th, the Los Angeles Police Department let its contract with Flock Safety expire. LAPD is the third-largest police force in the United States, making this a significant loss for the surveillance company. But this was not about money. According to Dean Jalamas, the department's chief information officer, speaking to ABC7, the decision came down to serious concerns about civil liberties and civil rights, specifically around privacy, and how the data collected by those cameras is handled. Jalamas said LAPD will stay out until questions about data ownership, privacy, security, and data sharing can be ironed out through a proper contractual relationship. Flock Safety deploys AI-powered surveillance cameras on street poles and buildings across American neighborhoods. These cameras continuously scan license plates and can track vehicles and people at a scale that most communities have never seen before. The company's pitch to municipalities has been straightforward: their customers own the data, not Flock. That line came from Josh Thomas, Flock's chief communications officer, speaking to Government Technology. But as the article from Military.com reports, the reality on the ground has been more complicated. Communities are discovering that owning your data means something very different when a private company controls the infrastructure that collects it. The LAPD is far from alone. According to reporting by the San Francisco Standard, between August 2021 and May 2026, 82 Flock contracts were terminated across 28 states. And the acceleration is striking. 39 of those terminations happened in just the first 5 months of 2026 alone. Several cities have already made bold moves. Mountain View in California ditched its contract. South Portland in Maine did the same. Bloomington in Indiana let its contract expire back in March. Cleveland City Council is expected to vote on whether to keep its 100 cameras. This is a coordinated unraveling of a surveillance network that was supposed to be permanent. Then there is the story of Jeffrey Soven. According to the Military.com article, Soven is a 41-year-old Air Force engineer and mechanic from Suffolk in Virginia. He allegedly spent 6 months working his way through the Flock cameras in his city, taking them apart on their poles with a saw. He even threw some cameras from an overpass onto Interstate 664, watching them shatter. He now faces 25 criminal counts, including 13 felony counts of destruction of property, 6 counts of petit larceny, and 6 counts of possession of burglary tools. He has pleaded not guilty. One man, a hand saw, and a surveillance network he apparently decided belonged to him, not the government. A key tool in this resistance is the DeFlock map at deflock.org, which one Reddit commenter linked to in the thread. The map shows every Flock camera location across the country, and when communities see the density of cameras in their own neighborhoods, the reaction is often the same. As one commenter put it, it is so much worse than they realized. Another asked, why are they on my residential neighborhood streets? People are discovering how deeply the surveillance infrastructure has penetrated their daily lives. Streets they thought were just streets. The politics of this issue are revealing. One commenter noted that Republicans seem 100% on board with the surveillance state, while another pointed out something even more troubling. The CEO of Flock has been calling people who physically remove cameras terrorists, even while claiming they could just vote against the contracts. But as another commenter pointed out, those voted resolutions against Flock surveillance are being overturned because of corruption. So the path from community resistance to actual change is not straightforward. The CEO of the company called resistors terrorists, while one commenter responded that CEOs are narcissistic psychopaths whose words should hold zero weight. What makes this story stand out is what one commenter in the thread called the first thing in a long time that brings most people together. Another commenter connected it to the broader anti-AI sentiment around AI data centers, a tenuous thread, but one that suggests something bigger is happening. If these issues can get people discussing at least surface-level issues about humans and their rights again, that would be grand. Communities that might disagree on almost everything else are finding common ground in the shared experience of being watched by cameras they did not consent to, on streets they thought were theirs. The story of Flock cameras is not just about one company losing contracts. It is about communities reclaiming control of the spaces they live in. 82 contracts gone across 28 states, 39 more in just the first 5 months of this year. One Air Force engineer with a saw taking down cameras in Suffolk, and a growing map of resistance at deflock.org showing communities across the country waking up to the scale of what was installed in their neighborhoods. The question is no longer whether Flock cameras should be in American streets. The question is how many more will come down before the ones remaining finally answer to the people watching them. If communities across America are pushing back against mass surveillance cameras, that is a story worth following. Subscribe for more reports on the technology reshaping your daily life, and let us know what you think in the comments.